Hi, this is Denise Mathew, and today I'm going to make another branch style necklace. This is a little bit different where you're just twisting wire together. This is keishi pearls and a little rose quartz, and that's what I will do in the project, so you'll see how that works out. And I've done this. The briolets look really nice. They give a lot of color. You can do it in multicolor. You could do it in all one color. You could use crystals. You could use anything you want. It's really whatever you have on hand and whatever you feel like using. If you want it to, you can also make several of these components and link them all together and make a necklace or a bracelet, whatever you prefer, and then you would put a clasp on it. And I wouldn't make the components much longer than this, because what will happen is you won't have enough movement for your necklace, because it would be difficult. It's stiff around your neck because it doesn't have any give. So let's get started. So I'm working with about 16 inches of 26 gauge wire, and I have these little keishi pearls, which are about 10 by 6 millimeters. I really like them because this reminds me of a willow tree in the spring. I also have a finished chain here, and what I'll do with that is, there's the clasp, and since I want to use the chain to put the make it like a pendant, I'm going to cut right at the center here, which is directly opposite to the clasp. So I'll do that first so that I have it ready to go, so I can add my pendant to it when it's ready. So the first thing you're going to do is just sort of bend your wire in half. You don't actually have to bend it, but just sort of double it like that. And then right at the very end, take your round nose pliers and just do just a circle like that. And that's going to be the circle that's going to attach to your chain. Now you can make that bigger or smaller. I'm going to make it a little smaller. And then now that that's done, you can grab it with your chain nose pliers and then just wrap around, straighten that one wire out, and then take the other wire and then just wrap it around a few times. Now it's not essential to wrap it too many times. It's just really whatever you want to do. Yeah, you can wrap it a few times or several times. I'll probably do it about 5 or 6. So it's a little messy looking, but that's okay. What I can do is just go back and then just kind of push those coils together and make it a little bit neater. So this is what you would have right now. Once that's done, you're going to add one of your pearls or whatever bead you're using. You could use a briolet, you could use just a round bead, whatever you really want to use is fine. You're going to add it, just slide it down as far down as you want it to be. Okay, so just think that this is going to be the branch, so that will be your first branch. So you can make it shorter or longer, whatever you want to do. So now that that's done, you're going to pull your wire down like that. So this is what you would have. And then now take your pearl or bead, whatever you're working with, and start to twist. Okay, so you're just twisting, and then you would have something that looks like that. Now take these two wires that you have, and you'll notice that right now one wire is longer than the other, and that's normal. So you're always going to be working on the longer wire when you're adding the bead, so that's something to keep in mind. So now just take now you can do this with chain nose pliers if you prefer. You could just take your pliers and start to twist with your pliers, but again, don't twist too much, because if you do, you can break your wire. So it's just basically just getting a nice twist on it. And if your pearl comes down, that's okay, because you can always readjust it later on. Okay, now that you have that amount, so I'm just going to separate those wires again, like that. And again, looking for the longer wire. I'm going to do one more twist because I want the longer wire on the opposite side. Okay, so that's something you want to do. Keep the longer side on the opposite side of the branch you just made. So if I have my branch on this side, I want the longer wire on this side to put my next pearl on. So just slide one more pearl on. And put it at the position you want for your branch, and then just bring that other wire down like that. And then you would do exactly the same thing. You would just start to twist. And I just prefer to use my fingers, but like I said, you can use whatever you prefer. And I'll just pull that other wire up. So this is what you would have so far. So that's what it would look like so far. And then just take those two wires together again, and you're going to twist as much as you like. I'm not doing anything very uniform. For me, it's just sort of an organic, like something like a branch would grow. And then find your longer wire and make sure it's on the opposite side. So my longer wire is on this side, and it is on the opposite side of my branch, and that's good. So then put my next pearl on and put it in the position that I want it to be, and then just pull this other wire down like that and do the exact same thing. And I'm just going to switch sides because I find it easier to twist with my right hand. So I'm just twisting those two wires together. There we would have that. And if you prefer them nice and close together just to have like a more puffy look, or you can do that as well. So now I'm just going to start to twist those wires again together, those two leftover wires. And you can do as tight twists as you like, but just not over twisting, because you don't want to break your wire. And again, finding my longer piece of wire, which is this one. Put another pearl on, and then so bring it down like that. And we're getting sort of close to the end of this point, so I think I'll probably be able to only do one more. Okay, you want to make sure that you're twisting close to your bead so that it's not flopping around. So if you notice, it's fairly stable, and that's what you want, because you want to have that for your pendant. Okay, so now I'm kind of pretty close to the end, so I'm just going to twist a little bit more. I don't think I'm going to have space for another bead, so that's what we would have. Just going to add this rose quartz. I'm going to add this rose quartz bead. Now I normally wouldn't add that to the design, but you can just to mix and match if you like. But I'm just going to add it just to show you how to do it, and that it's very similar to with just the pearl. So just like that. And what you're going to do is grab hold of that briolet, okay, and the wires, and start to twist like that. And you'll notice that the wire is twisting. Now I've gone really close to the edge, so now I'm just going to twist these wires together. You probably would leave a little bit more wire, but that's all right. I just wanted to make sure I could show that other bead on, but it will still work perfectly fine. What normally will happen is you'll have two lengths of wire that are fairly close to the same, and then you could do sort of like a double loop. But since I have the one, that'll work just fine. So now that I have that, I have those twisted, and I'm just going to do a 90-degree angle, and I'm just going to do a wrap loop. Okay, so just like this. Okay, so now that I have my circle, I'm going to start to wrap down, just using whatever wire I have left. And then just trim back with it a little bit. Make sure everything is nice and tight. Push the coils together if you need to. And then I'm going to add it to my chain, which I've already cut. I just have two 6mm jump rings, but you can use whatever size will work for your project. And that's one. And then once that's done, you can go back and you can adjust those branches any way you like. Do a little bit of adjustment so to make it look a little bit more organic looking. So this concludes the tutorial. Hope you liked it. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for coming. Bye for now.